All right. Yeah, let's get some people up in this morning.
Yeah, can y'all hear them right outside my window?
Nah,
No, what's going on outside your window?
They like trimming the hinges or something.
Nah.
nah, you just going in and out of focus with the
With the blur.
yeah.
I mean, that's always gonna happen with the blur shit. Bro, King, as we was taking that ride down there, I said, bro, that'd have been a lot on a bike, bro. That was. Oh, you're
Oh,
muted.
you
You're muted.
muted.
Yeah, my bad. So the Indianapolis,
Yeah,
bro, we went there last year. It is
but that
like it's tough.
it's tough as a lot of construction and everything.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, I was like, man, I was damn near like, man, I just really just hope King, he don't
So
have to show up.
what's crazy is, dog, my battery died on the bike.
Traction.
Saturday night. No,
Oh
Friday night.
man,
Friday night. So I had to jump it off, and then I had text. And what's funny about it is one of my clients that morning. He worked for Harley, so I was telling him about it. I was like, man, my bike acting funny. I rode it to work, but I was like, I'm hoping I'm gonna have to jump it off again. He like, why you ain't tell me? I'd have just brought, I'd have got you a battery at discount. I'm like, oh, I didn't. How would I know? You know what I'm
right?
saying? Like, fucking, that ain't something we talked about. So then Saturday, he was like, well, just come by the house because he was actually finna go out of town. He like, man, just come by the house. I'll grab it for you in the morning, and then whenever you get done, you can just come get it. And I'm just sitting
Right.
here thinking, like, bro, it's crazy because it was almost like God was saying, don't take that ride. Because if I'd have took that ride, bro, I'd probably been out there stranded because the battery would have definitely probably died. You know what I'm saying? Going from
Also on the way back, bro, it was the most
Rain.
craziest rain. I would have hate to see you in that rain, bro.
Yeah,
yes,
that
bro.
Oh yeah,
that
the
would have been
driving.
worse.
Oh yeah, I'm glad I just came on that because I said something earlier. Like, bro, this nigga would have never came down there if he knew it was gonna be raining like that in a
Well,
motorcycle.
I was just gonna say, and that was the thing too. My guy had told me Sunday it was supposed to rain. I'm like, oh, okay, well, but he like, nah, that's just here. I'm like, oh, damn, I ain't think about that. When I checked the weather, sure as shit, it was raining like crazy inside, and it was
And
raining like
it,
crazy in Chicago.
Yeah,
yeah, what's crazy is it was kind of following us on the way back. We had to try to we
Yeah,
had to get we literally had to get ahead of it
damn,
in order because bro that rain.
y'all out
That
here
rain
getting
was
chased by the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely being chased by the rain.
Right. Well, King, what was your longest ride on your bike?
So far, Alabama,
Alabama.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama, whatever the hell it's called.
How many hours
Yeah.
is that?
12, like 12, a little over 12. So it's probably like 14 almost. But
How many breaks you take?
shit, we actually had to take more than we normally do. It's normally like you take a break every 2 to 3 hours, just for
Okay.
gas and stretching. But like we had like a breakdown, then we had to get somebody towed. So it was like it's the only reason why it took that long because it's normally we could have gotten it done in like 12 and a half, but we ended up taking us 14 hours because of all that.
Okay, that was a group ride.
Yeah, yeah.
Solo. How long would be like your longest ride?
Detroit, 6 hours, like 6.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's not bad. That's not bad at
We
all.
know that is that no breaks too? Like you just wrote it or you just
no,
pause?
I mean, you got to take
Hey.
gas breaks and shit like that.
Let me jump in it.
It's not like a car where you
As
just.
as as the oldest nigga of the group, I have to learn so much through you niggas, like of the pause setup. Like Jesus Christ. Like pause is like a period in my sentence, just like in word. You know what I'm saying? Like pause, break up word, like break up the whole sentence in general now.
That's just the culture now. That's just the atmosphere, bro. Like because like I was telling you, I wish. Dang it, I forgot to find the commercial. But when I be streaming, like I said, there's always this commercial, and the commercial is promoting something called Woodmen's. And the guy at the end of the commercial, every time he go at the end of the commercial, it's two dudes sitting there. They look like they fishing, and it's like Woodman's Insurance or something like that, right? And the guy goes, "Woodman's? Well, that's a peculiar name." And I said, "Was that a corporate pause?" I said, "Did they just do like a corporate pause in the commercial like that?" Like I'm like, so I think that's just the culture now.
Definitely sound like hey yo, in a corporate way.
Right. Like that's a peculiar name. I'm like, bro, I know they did not just the Booker T. Tell me you just didn't say that.
Yeah.
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Good enough.
No.
Good enough.
No, wait. What was you about to say, King?
Oh no, I was just because Bacardi was good.
All
I
right.
know if you had more questions.
All right. Well, Didge, give me a countdown.
All right. 3, 2.
All right. Welcome back to the Geekset podcast, only podcast that blend hip hop culture and geek culture together. I'm your boy Deuces. With me, I got my man Bacardi Sensei here.
What is good, everybody? How are we doing?
We are doing good, man. I'm still rocking with this con season. We got Didge in the building.
What is happening, people? What is happening, people?
Hey, we gotta get Didge or what is happening, people like logo, merch or something like that's, bro. Every day. I just wait. Every day I see a new video of Diggs. What is happening, people? What is happening, people?
Diggs don't have Diggs' face ain't never changed. That we can actually use the old cartoon image of Diggs and just make that the bubble. What is happening, people?
That is true. That is true.
So we just own like comic air bubbles saying that.
We got Trip in the building.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, then we got King out there. Well, King in the shop. I forgot this is King in the shop. Yep. Hey man, shit. We talking Weebcon Indy. This is our con season, and you know, saying we chose to go to Weebcon. Shout out to Mo Lowry, comedian Mo Lowry hooked us up. He hit me like
Mo. Man,
yeah. Shout out to motherfucking Mo, man. So he had hit me probably like a month and a half before DreamCon. It was funny because so a little bit behind the scenes for those watching, we always always trying to figure out ways to continually expand Geekset, do more with the culture, do more with the people, and came up with we want to at every con that we go to moving forward, we want to be able to at least have a panel room, just kind of do a showcase, live podcast or whatever, just to continually introduce people to who we are. Coincidentally, at that same time, Mo hit me. He was like, "Yo, y'all trying to do some more panels and stuff like that? Because I got Weebcon Indy coming. I know the person putting it on, and they're looking for more talent and creators to be a part of their convention." So brought it to the team, and then we was like, "Bet, all right." Right after DreamCon, we hitting Weebcon Indy.
Nice road trip. We ain't had a road trip since DreamCon, which was the last road trip that we all decided to go do.
Which is funny because everybody at DreamCon, because we did that one trip. For the past 2 years, every time. Hey, did y'all drive again? Hey, y'all drove again? It's like, bro, that was once. We did it at one time.
That was a drive.
That was a drive,
bro. That was the only other person that I think that beat it was probably Trippy when he did the drive the next year by himself.
Yeah.
Truthfully, this would be a great Patreon story because I actually would love to tell Diz how mad I was that we got a fucking minivan to do that.
We had to. I mean, it was we wasn't gonna be able to fit all of the people's bags. But
I think if we talk about from the beginning of when we were looking for the cars, all that kind of stuff, cause we could have gotten a Yukon, we could have, but we got a mini, bro. Boy.
Hey, just the fact of us hopping out at different stops of the minivan, getting the looks, it's 5 niggas hopping out of minivan.
It was
I think that definitely plays into why we won't do it again. Because my thing is that's my horror story. Is bro, if I see a nigga pull up to me in the minivan again, bro, I will cancel everything on that trip. Everything.
That minivan just handled very loosely. Bro, it handled very loosely.
There's a lot of minivan slander going on here. First of all, let's be clear. As a guy with a family of 6, I appreciate the minivans. You know, space. Like niggas could have laid out in a Yukon. You would have been cramping up in a Yukon.
That's what I'm saying. Like we had
bags and shit,
that
cameras.
were being carried. Like
nigga, we had anime shit. Like I had Rita. Nigga, I had Rita with you know how big that axe is? The axe is bigger than my luggage.
You're not telling me that's like the minivan would be bigger than the Yukon. I'm just not going to go for that.
It's more space. Not. It's just more space.
Yeah, it's more space for cargo.
Yeah, you can move in and out of a minivan easier because you got think about you got two sets of captain's chairs in a minivan. Where in a truck, that nigga, somebody gonna have to climb over the seat every time.
Dog, that is just crazy energy. I hate hearing about it. It makes my ears bleed to know who's in the minivan. It just hate. Like
you the one brought it up. How you gonna?
Because niggas is validating it now.
That's because he thought he was gonna bring it up and everybody's gonna go, hell yeah, you know.
No. King the only one right now doing it. We all had our moments of being like, bro, I definitely not being on minivan again. I did my circle of I did my run through of everybody. So y'all just actually faking it right now.
The minivan, I think the thing is the minivan was packed. That's why it was uncomfortable. Like if it wasn't so packed, it would have been more comfortable.
Yeah, but doing it again and understanding the practicality of it are two totally different things. I wouldn't do it again either, but I understand it was necessary.
Wait, hold on, Trip.
5 niggas.
Yeah, Trip. What was you about to say, Trip? What was you about to say?
I definitely wouldn't do that again, man. Like, if you do another long road trip like that, it's definitely got to be a sprinter or something involved. Because
this here, my only issue was that the minivan, like every turn, so there's. Like I wasn't able to get comfortable driving because every little bit of jerk, that motherfucker jerk. It was, and that's what I hated. Because if it was a little bit more stable, like I said, if it was, you know what I'm saying, like you know what I'm saying, an SUV or something like that, I felt like those handle better than a minivan. The minivan, I just felt like you couldn't do anything. You had to be 10 and 2, and I'm not a 10 and 2 nigga.
Yeah, I think that makes sense too. Like I said, like I'm not against the road trips, but we got to do better than the minivan. I feel like everybody having our moment in the minivan, whether you like it, whether you find it.
Nigga, I got a ticket in the minivan. I got the worst of it all. You did get a speeding ticket.
That's why I feel you've been on my side. Like we definitely not doing a minivan.
I'm just look. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying the minivan slander is crazy. Because I get it. I had a minivan. Don't nobody wants to drive. Look, I don't want to be 5 or 6 niggas deep in a minivan ever again.
Yes.
Ever. Like if I got a minivan, I definitely want it for the children. But that's it. But I feel what you said.
I think that was crazy for me because, like I said, like God rest my father's soul. Like when he passed, he had a minivan, and that was passed to me. So I lived a life of a minivan.
This just sounds like trauma.
That wasn't even needed. It wasn't even needed. Like the minivan I had in my life wasn't even needed. Like, bro, you ain't got.
You could tell us if somebody ribbed you, bro, at the stop.
Like this ain't even actual hate. You just reliving old trauma. That ain't
because I looked at it.
Taking that out.
When I did it back then, I was like, I took it for my all right, we gonna do this. But I'm like, bro, I don't want to see my niggas in no minivan. No.
It's hard to hop out and be fresh in a minivan. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
it's hard to hop out and be fresh.
Would it change if it was an Astro van?
Nigga, if it was an all black Astro van, that would probably been slick. If it was like the 18 van, definitely.
Yeah, we was coming down there and cosplaying the van. Yes.
Or even one of them old player vans where they have like chrome wheels and shit and the table in the middle with the bed. The old uncle van. Oh God, nigga, I'd have hopped out of that and felt more comfortable.
Yeah,
but also
we was in a town and country though, so
that is Uncle Van though. So that really would have been like, oh, y'all niggas down here from Milwaukee. Oh, some other shit.
Hey, I'm out here and shit.
Hey, me and Digits' Uncle Jerry used to have that van, boy. Hey, but the great thing about it was comfy seats, and he had the best refreshments in the back of that van. He had that cooler back there with he didn't do canned sodas. He always had the bottle sodas.
Uncle Jerry understood. It was practical.
Yeah, like you have the Mexican Cokes, the one you gotta have a bottle
Mm-hmm.
opener and shit.
Yep. Uncle Jerry, and I said Uncle Jerry. What's crazy about Uncle Jerry is a mechanic and a pastor, so he knows everybody. He knows everybody in the city.
Not a mechanic. He's a contractor.
Oh, yeah, contractor. Yeah, sorry about contractor and a pastor. So he literally knows everybody, bro. So, but yeah. So if y'all didn't tell already, we drove to Weebcon this year around. This yep. This was actually Indianapolis' first Weebcon. So Weebcon is actually like a brand. It's kind of like the Anime Expo. So you'll see Anime Expos in Los Angeles, and I do think they got one in Atlanta. I think they got one in New York and everything like that. Weebcon, same thing. It's a brand, and this is their first year in Indianapolis.
They're based in Texas, though. Like we want to say that. We want to say.
Yeah. Bet. Okay.
Like what we even discovered about Weebcon, of course, through Mo Lowry, but also knowing that they have actually been established for a very long time in Texas. So anybody in the Texas group, anybody chatting with us from Texas, you already know about Weebcon. This is our first time going to Weebcon in Indianapolis.
Yep. And so the ride, like I said, I think this 4-hour ride wasn't that bad. I think coming back was the worst part, and it was only because of the rain.
Yeah, for you. Bro, I want you to know that you are a bald-faced liar. When bro, it was so many times I woke up because you was in the goddamn lane that you not supposed to.
No. You woke up once because of that. You woke up once because of that. The other times was the streets.
So yeah, no, I will vouch for Deuces on this. The roads were terrible, and I don't know what it is about Indianapolis, or not even Indianapolis, Indiana as a whole. There are stretches of the highway where they put those, like those little grooves to
the groove
let
things,
you know.
Yeah.
There are stretches of the highway in the middle of the road. They are there.
Yeah.
So there were a couple times you woke up like, yo, you good? It's like, well, yeah, nigga, the road fucking sucks.
Yeah. But that last one was valid. That last one was valid.
You know that last one.
The last one.
No, yeah, no. There were
what's crazy about the last one is I woke up before you did it, so I saw you do it. That's how I knew. That's how I knew there's no way you can get out of it. I woke up and I was like, bro, this wall close to me. And then the noise got to going. I'm like, dude, is you good? You're like, no, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, no, hey.
So that was the last one. But that's because everybody felt it, bro. Y'all niggas is the king of going to sleep on a nigga, huh?
No.
Hey, to be fair, y'all knew I was going to sleep anyway.
Did said he was going to bed. So I realized when it started raining, I was really waking up looking at Diz like, bro, Diz go to sleep in this rain with Deuces. Like
the funny part is I didn't fall asleep like that until we got out of the rain.
Yeah,
right.
And see, bro, I kept waking up in the middle because I was watching Diz. Like, bro, if Diz go to bed on this nigga in the rain, I'm gonna be mad. Because
I was straight. I would have been straight, but that rain was definitely getting to a nigga, dog. And I was like, damn, bro, because even that Red Bull did not help. And I was like, bro, I'm normally all right at this point. And I was like, but that rain, bro, and that rain was really hit, bro. It was. I was trying everything because even Dish was like, you cold for your playlist being all up tempo. I'm like, yeah, I did that on purpose, but that rain was working overtime.
This was trying to go to bed like you. That your code wasn't about your. It was like, bro, I'm trying to go to bed.
It was after a point. I had loosened up my hat so that way I can hold it over my eyes and my glasses. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to lay out. This nigga got this music going 180 BPM. Man, like, nigga,
hey, it was pretty shit.
Rapping the songs, like, bro, like y'all think I was asleep. I wasn't sleep that bad. Like, I couldn't. Because I really, as the oldest nigga, like I could not. I saw the rain. I was like, all right, bro, I'm not finna die in my sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna wink my eyes, keep looking at you niggas. But when you started rapping the songs, I was like, all right, bro, this nigga struggling. Try to stay up.
I had to figure it out, bro. It was plenty Chicago drill music, plenty gun shooting music. I was like, I need all this stuff.
Like the coolest thing was, like I said, because I was playing the which is you said you ain't played it yet. Like I was playing on my phone. When you look back, you like Riley out there playing the game. I was playing that Marvel Rivals, the Ultron thing, because every match is like 30 to 45 minutes. So I was like, all right, let me get like 3 matches in. So I'm like, by that time, I'm like, we damn near halfway home. Like,
I was gonna say, you in Chicago, buddy.
Yeah, I'm about to take a nap now. Like, I'm gonna take a nap now. Bro, that's how I knew I was playing that game. But I was falsely playing the game.
Yeah, oh no, one time I turned around, you was playing the game, and you was like, the phone was out.
But I was using that because I was so scared that Disney was gonna go to sleep while Rudy was riding in the rain and was gonna kill him. I'm like, bro, I gotta do something. I gotta do something, dog. Like, that shit had me crying. Like,
so, like I said, the ride there was straight. Like I said, Trip slept most of the ride there. Trip got the best sleep the whole trip.
Don't ever depend on Trip to ever do anything about life. But I feel like he like, bro, if I can go sleeping, that's actually the best way to go. You know what I'm saying? Like let me go there. Like, don't let me worry about none of that shit.
So when we pull up in Indianapolis, at first I ain't gonna hold you, and we talked about this at the pod that we did there because we was doing a live podcast at the place, and we already had the thought process like, okay, when we get there, we gonna have to promote. Like, we was kind of like a last minute addition because we was still trying to figure out if we was gonna go, what we was gonna do. So we was like, we got to make sure we hit the grounds running, talking to the people of the con. But as we was pulling up, now for those who go to conventions, you know, when you go to a convention, you usually see a shit ton of cosplayers outside or around the convention center, walking around, crossing the streets, parking, whatever the case may be. And we pulled up, and this is like a regular ass downtown. Like, it was like
it was definitely extra. It
was like a regular downtown. And I looked up, I saw the skywalk, and I was like, all right, well, I see people in the skywalk. So I'm like, all right, bet, we good, right? By far the best parking that we've had at a convention yet.
Parking was beautiful.
By far.
Oh, wow.
That's the most hilarious thing I've ever heard to even say that. Like, by far.
Because people who do creative stuff at conventions, they know how much a pain it is to, one, have to either lug your stuff around all day or have to take that trek back to your car. This one, the way that the convention was set up, the parking garage that you were in is essentially right between the two buildings. Like, half the stuff was in the hotel, half the stuff was in the convention center. So parking, in order to get to either, you have to pass by where we parked. And we parked on the 3rd level. That was perfect. So we were right by where the skywalk was. Mm-hmm. It was beautiful.
Yeah. So, and then, but again, when we get in, so 2 things that was hilarious for me. First, when we get in, this was truly a convention center, right? Like, I mean, I know that sounds crazy to say, but like when we walked in, it was very serene and quiet. It was like a real live convention center. And then Bacardi immediately could not stop talking about the air quality.
We didn't have to do that.
Good or bad?
Like, I ain't like,
no,
bro,
you know
it was bad.
It was like, I look. I'm not here trying to disrespect Indy. Like,
I didn't know we was gonna bring this part up.
I didn't know either. I didn't know either.
I thought that was to live where it was living.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, no. I mean, it's like, yeah. I mean, I feel like maybe what I smelt was the convention difference between DreamCon and another con.
We did a video on this, didn't we?
Yeah,
we did a episode on this. So
maybe so that's what I'm gonna stick with. I'm not gonna say that Indiana or Indianapolis in general smell like this.
Just that pocket at that moment. Something tipped off in us.
And we're actually also are like we are actually like we are associated with that. We've been to enough conventions to know the different smells of a convention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. Like coming from DreamCon and going into Weebcon, there was a very, very, very complete smell difference.
So eating around this is crazy.
He goes me on the spot.
So it's crazy because I have to say, because I did not make it, I am the guy wanting to hear everything. So hearing this, is intriguing. Like I'm over here, like I want to get into it, but I understand what he's saying.
Right. So we go straight to the registration because we get there like around what 12
Yeah,
noon. Yeah,
one. Yeah.
Yep, and our panel is not until 6. So we was like, well, we gave us some opportunity to get a feel of the convention. So we go straight to the convention, the main exhibit hall. Right, that was the exhibit hall. Yeah.
We got because it was right outside the door of the getting.
Yeah, main exhibit hall, and the first thing
we almost didn't get our badges.
I also didn't know we was still talking about that. Yeah, I mean,
I didn't know that. Did that happen? That we didn't get our badges?
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily to get our badges. So the lady, so when we pulled up to the registration, I was like, "Yeah, we're here with Geekset. We're here to pick up our panelist badge." And then the guy was like, "Where's you got the QR code?" I was like, "No, they didn't give us a QR code." And he was like, "Well, they normally have a QR code, right?" And I was like, "Well, they didn't give us a QR code." I was like, "I don't know what to say." And I was like, "But no, somebody said that our stuff is going to be here, right?" And I was like, so I had to look through my email, and I was like, "Yeah." And then I name dropped. Shout out Kim Jimenez helping us out with everything that she did.
So I
and
mean,
as soon as
Jimenez makes more sense than Jimenez. What he said.
Hey, charge it to my heart, not my head.
That's not all right. Like if you gonna shout out somebody, please get their name right.
But I feel like
she didn't say her last name to me. I just going off of the email.
It's crazy that you didn't default to Jimenez.
Boy, this nigga, you crazy. I don't believing that your older brother would default to that.
Right.
That is
crazier. Like really, I'm on your side. That your younger brother is crazier.
For not thinking somebody is going to default to that? Like, that is... All right. I'll take it. Whatever.
I mean, this is Rudy we talking about.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Deuces is definitely going to say it the way he see it. So,
wow.
you know. But he apologized. He said, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Like I said, I definitely didn't mean no harm.
He had good intentions.
Right. But soon as I name drop, soon as I drop that name, and you know what's crazy, Dave? You saying that, but I'm 100% positive. That's how I said it at the con desk, and nobody corrected me at registration.
I almost said something that we should.
Why would they?
I was gonna say because as a person who has a name that people mess up all the time, like I just get to a point where you got it. It's close to me.
You probably fucked it up, and that person that told Kim like, dog, this nigga went crazy.
What's her name?
Kim Jimenez.
And what did you say?
He said Jimenez.
Jimenez. Yeah. Hey, the Jalapeno, let's go.
Shout out to Kim.
Shout out to Kim. Because soon as I name drop Kim, they were like, oh yeah, we got you. Like I was like, Kim is definitely the man in these streets. Like she's top woman in charge. She like because soon as I said Kim, they were like, oh yeah. And then I ain't gonna hold you. Staff became super accommodating for the rest of the convention too. I don't know if they wasn't not, but I just feel like at that point people was rocking with us.
I mean, we had panelist badges on at that point. Like, well, we ain't no three-day weekend niggas. You know what I'm saying?
y'all talent at that point.
Yeah, we ain't no Saturday, Fridays. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't here now.
Yeah. So the first thing that I noticed when we get in it, King, is that bro, they had so many voice actors there. Imagine like the Anime Milwaukee Hall, right? Yep. And then across all 3 walls except the entrance wall is voice actors. That's how many voice actors they had on all 3 walls except the entrance wall. They had voice actors, all tables set up, doing autographs and everything like that. It was crazy. And so like I was like, so that to me that was dope, and that's when I realized I said, yo, you know what? We ain't been to a random con outside of the ones that we go through yearly in a while. So it was a different feel to go to a con where we didn't really have any outside of Mo Lowry. We didn't have any mutuals there. Most of the people at that con didn't even know who we were. So it was kind of like taking it back to the Geekset roots, and so that's like for me, I was excited about that.
Like I told everybody, or I was trying to say, it's like we haven't. Anime Milwaukee is actually very close to this. We just haven't been in a panel room in Anime Milwaukee in a very long time. But when we worked at Anime Milwaukee, we had one moment that we had a panel room, and we did do a live podcast in that room. And it was the same kind of setup. It was the same kind of like center seats or whatever. So I felt like it was a really good homage to knowing where we are now, and even knowing that we we do we still are trying to expand ourselves and go into other conventions and everything like that. And whatever that may look how it looks for us, we would still go do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's like that was like the great thing about it because like I feel like we are, and I don't say it in a bad way, but like I feel like we are, like I say, coming from DreamCon, this was a very small con. Mo would, you know what I'm saying, would account with it too with this. You know what I'm saying? Like Mo would account with like in the same thing, like coming from DreamCon to this was very smaller. But what I think we all agreed on, it was like it was really also more intimate. We had to actually work harder to like just be who we are again. Like it wasn't a moment of like, oh, y'all know who we are because we done this so many years, and you know what I'm saying. Like it was our first time there,
Yeah.
and getting the panel. So it was like I think showing that we was there in that space and what we could do to even get the card that we got to come into that room was like great because it's like we had people want us to come back again today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Nice.
Like
Yeah.
that.
What about you, Trip?
No, it was definitely a huge difference coming from DreamCon last week to Weebcon this week. Just the like the amount of people, right? And then now we come from having been already established to now we got to really do the put the elbow grease in to build this panel the way we wanted to. But I mean, just like even the exhibit hall, like how the vendors were. I think Weebcon had more things you
Yeah,
really wanted to buy as collectibles as opposed to DreamCon did. I mean, shout out to all the vendors at DreamCon,
Yeah.
but it just I felt like Weebcon was more so for
for you what you needed.
for the collectors. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because
I
they
was
had some things out there that really jumped out.
I heavily agree with that. I heavily agree with that. Like I feel like that was a well we've been to so many bigger cons that we forgot what it looks like to go to just a smaller con. And it wasn't a small con. This was just their first con. There.
Yeah, because it was a decent size. Like the
It
convention
was a decent size, bro.
Yeah.
Like
pretty
they had
big.
a Didge, what about you? Going to this one.
I liked this con because, to what Bacardi was saying, it was smaller, it was more intimate, and I think just the lasting impact is we created, I think, a lot more fans this way. Like especially in the room that we were in, like the conversations that we were having throughout the podcast. The way we already do podcasts, it's very interactive, but when you have a smaller group and you're sort of like you said, this is their first Weebcon, this was our first Weebcon, so we're all sort of learning this convention together. You can tell like the way that we left, like people were like, I like these people for who they are, not just, oh, this is another name that is here, so I gotta follow for that. It was like you built a personal relationship, and that's how you definitely build good community. It's not the size, it's the how engaged they are.
I saw it was Cousin King. It was Cousin King, bro.
I saw his face with it, but it was like I said the size of the community. Like I said,
I know, but I saw King.
Because y'all, it started with the con size. It just kept going. But y'all got it.
Yeah. What was you gonna say, Bacardi?
But no, like I think it really was dope to the fact that, like I said, we haven't had that moment since DreamCon 2 years ago of just even being able to just have a moment in the room to talk about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know what I'm saying? And I think what we are lacking from, and even in our presence in our convention tours, is creating that room that gets bigger every year, just like Anime After Dark. Like we are we great as a live podcast, but we need the
Yeah.
consistency of being in a room so y'all can actually fuck with us. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Organically building new fans.
Yeah.
So I really do love, like, if they keep doing Weebcon in Indiana and it's a drive, that's on the map now. Like, that got to be in our checklist. That we always gonna go to that. That's a drive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because we already did a live podcast there, it's like we just open now to give us bigger and bigger rooms because we've already shown in one moment how many people were like I said, like they wanted us to come back Sunday. They thought we actually had another room again Sunday to do it. So it's like if you actually asking for that already,
Right.
bro, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna do better every room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So so after we did our first once around again, we had to go see where the actual panel rooms was because, like I said, this convention was a big ass convention center. So if they continue to build, they can find themselves in like how like Anime Milwaukee, C2E2 is, DreamCon is, like it can pack a lot of people in there and have a lot of things going. It's just this was the first time at Indianapolis, so I can understand why the crowd, again, still a decent crowd, but it was like you can see the potential in there of what they had.
And I would love to see what they're doing in Houston, in Texas, because shit. If they want to, like, if we can be part of the crowd and just follow Weebcon in some way, shape, or form, like if y'all already
but Cardi want to get the franchise tag. He want to be the
hey, you know what I'm saying? Like they already established in Texas. We were already down in Texas and we made an impact down there. So I would love to be like same as we're doing with a lot of other places. Like we can like follow Weebcon in the sense and be like, yeah, like we should bring Weebcon further up to us and have it. You know what I'm saying? Remember we talked about that's what you got to talk about, the actual history of Weebcon and where it came from first.
That wasn't Weebcon. That was the other con when we were talking about Gen Con.
Oh yeah, but we discovered from Weebcon. So we discovered from Weebcon to even like we ain't gonna say about right now, but in another podcast, Gen Con, we know what you're talking. We know what you did. We trying to bring that back. You know what I'm saying? We trying to bring that back.
Right. So, like I said, I mean, the whole plan and the idea, because like, after we figured out where everything was at, we were like on one. They had to cast the Cowboy Bebop there, bro. They had to cast the Cowboy Bebop. They did a panel room that Mo Lowry was moderating.
The live action?
No,
the animation.
The actual animated.
Yep.
They had Naruto.
Yep, they had Naruto. Then they had they One Piece was a mixture. They had one actor from the live action, and then they had Brooke, the voice actor of Brooke, the voice actor of Choppa, and I couldn't make out who they were in the mask. Did y'all get that? Who the guy? Yeah. I couldn't make out who that was.
That was the dude in the big mask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was.
I couldn't make out what character he voiced. But so it was really dope because one, like I said, when we got there, got to see Mo doing his thing and everything like that. You know, I was like, oh, and then we realized like he was definitely the MC of the con, right? And this is where I say like, oh, with their growing, obviously they still trying to figure out like who their talent is, like who they're going to be having moderate these panels because he literally finished the Cowboy Bebop one and then immediately went over to the same room. Reset the room. Now the new Naruto cast came in, and he was doing that one. And I was like, dang, like so they had him out here working. They had a couple of other people working because it was a lady. I wish I would have got her name, but it was a lady who moderated the One Piece panel. But it was like, there's definitely some room for more people to be talent within this con and everything like that. So it's like so again, it's seeing the starts of a con. That, like I said, they got the stuff. It's just like seeing where they're going to expand to, and I feel like that's gonna be really really dope to kind of see them work. And then obviously they from the Midwest, so not from the Midwest, but that's a Midwest con, and we Midwest folks anyway. So it's like any more that we can get there, that's always a good plus. So I want to give a shout out to Trip, man, because Trip right now like literally he inspired me to kind of do more of those man on the streets and everything. Seeing how Trip was working at DreamCon.
Went crazy. I was like, fuck what you talking about. Let me say it because y'all both was working. Y'all went crazy. I like me. me seeing y'all just grabbing the mic, like knowing that I'm talking, even knowing and hearing the discussions beforehand about having the mics and the phones, and we go like I don't know what y'all gonna do. I had no clue. Cause then like I feel like when I come into my place with Geekset and when we do conventions, I'm the billboard. Like somebody gonna stop me. Like I'm cosplaying. I'm all you know what I'm saying.
You
Like
always
I'm gonna do my,
cosplay.
yeah. I'm gonna do my
Yeah.
moment. I'm gonna do my moment of being a billboard of like we ain't gonna be just be a bunch of regular niggas. It's one nigga in that bitch being weird. You know what I'm saying? Some nigga that you know what I'm saying?
Somebody gonna stand
Somebody
up.
gonna you know what I'm saying? It's gonna stand out. And I enjoy that space. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
to be in that space and watch y'all actually like now, like even picking like what I said, like with like Trip doing his moment of picking wrestlers to talk to, you picking One Piece people to talk to, and making it a thing. It was like it actually felt way more advanced in Geek Set than we should have been a long time ago. But it felt like, dog, this is easy. Like this is so fucking easy.
Yeah,
So
it is,
you know what
and
I'm
that's why.
saying? Like,
And that's why I'm giving a shout out to Trip because I've always had the idea of doing it, and I think because of how Geekset is and our inception of the creation of Geekset, we are like when it started off when it was just me, Bacardi, and Lib. We all came from music backgrounds and everything like that, so we all was already used to doing high quality things. And then we brought in Didge, and Didge is a person like, all right, we got to get it in 4K. This audio needs to be clean and everything like that. So a lot of the times we put a lot of thought process and everything into process on trying to how we're going to accomplish this at the highest quality rate. And we forget that sometimes we just got to keep it simple. So when I was seeing how Trip was getting all that wrestling content and everything, and I'm just like, yo, this is really dope.
easy, fucking
It's going.
easy.
And
It
I
was
was like,
easy.
I got to get out my head and let me just do it. Let me just go ahead and do it. And so, I gotta give Trip his shout out because that's what fueled me for this one. I was like, all right, if we doing promotion and we're trying to get people there, well, I'm gonna talk to some people. And as we was there, and this before I knew that there was a One Piece panel. I was like, man, there's a lot of One Piece cosplayers. I'm gonna do some One Piece questions, and so that was my focus in regards with that.
And I love because like I say, what y'all did actually inspired me to make sure even going forward now that it's like it. I want to be that other extra content like of the cosplay. If someone stops me, like I want to take a picture, whatever with you, it's like, oh, you ain't gonna just get this picture, my guy. We can interview you now. Like you stop me,
Yeah,
I'm gonna interview you. I'm gonna talk to you, or even my things. Like I feel like I want to add that extra aspect even to myself because of cosplaying within Geek Set of like that. So that's just like I said. Like when we make content now going forward and conventions, it will be three sets. It's wrestling content. It's cosplay content. It's Deuce's giving what he does interview. Like it's random word on the street content. Like like that's those are actually the areas of of the other random shows that we still fleshing out.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like we're just like
yeah,
we're building on in a real
yeah,
space right now in this question space. So it's
Yeah.
like I was inspired by seeing y'all like, bro, I should have if me even me my Roshi thing in DreamCon is like, bro, as much as niggas stopping me, I should be like, oh hey, hold up, come here. I'm gonna interview you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like I should have did the same shit. So like I'm definitely inspired by the same thing.
Yeah. So Trip, I just wanted, like I said, I did want to give you your moment in regards to that because, like I said, I know we talked about it a little bit in the DreamCon and everything, but like even just seeing that change the landscape and everything like that, as far as kind of like content that we doing at the con, like with your thought process of that, like I guess I don't think we ever asked like what made you want to start doing that more.
It's just a way for us to continually organically build the community, right? If you want to, continue to expand, people got to see us, and the best way for people to see us is to go out and be seen. So that means just going out and talking to individuals, getting individual contacts, and you know getting introduced to their socials. And now now everybody that they know now knows us. So it's just finding new ways to get the brand out there, and what better way than to go and talk to people that's actually out there, not just the big celebrities, but the people that follow them too.
Yeah.
Like I would say just from a aspect of mental health in general, like my semi anxiety with people, cosplay helped with that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel
That's dope.
I feel like learning in an aspect now where I'm taking cosplay and like I said, learning from y'all where it's like I want to talk to more people cosplaying, but it's because it's like I was
Yeah.
if I'd have been in regular
Mhm.
clothes, just like with y'all, I would still be more to myself. But me putting costumes on makes people talk to me, makes me have to like be in a space that
Yeah.
that I'm uncomfortable in. And you, once you know you've done that already, you've done that. You broke that first layer. So it's like, how do you improve yourself more?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, like seeing Trip and like you're saying like it was that like bro like we already broke that mode of wrestling. This nigga did crazy shit DreamCon last year. And you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So the only
I,
thing you can do now is like, bro, you know who I am as a person.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
my so it's like I'm just expanding that in a way that I'm trying to find my community through my own, you know what I'm saying, my own actions.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Absolutely, because just being able to step outside of my comfort zone last year and doing that shit last year, and then taking it a step further, and now I'm going out and talking to people, and just kind of setting the tone that way. Because the guy stopped me at C2E2. It kind of put the bug in my brain, like, hey, we can be doing this.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All
So
sense somebody do it. I think these are actually the steps of like the older generation. The young niggas already figured this shit out. They don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
As you get older and you actually are still breaking old actual like modes that you were used to, and you just kind of realize like, bro, I actually can be just like everybody else. Like I really like it's just more
Yeah.
open, you know what I'm saying, of doors. Like
And like I said, because like with me, it's just like look, I'm comfortable in any room, bro. I don't care. I don't care if it's a crowd of people. I don't care. I'm a hey yo, yeah, can I get a minute? Can I get a moment for y'all real quick? Like I stop a crowd ASAP. So I was like, a lot of times I should be like, again, just thinking too much of it. I'm like, all right, I want to make this be as high quality as possible, or whatever the case may be. And so I just sometimes I be getting in my head, and then again, like I said, Trip was just it was a reminder of, well, keep it simple. You gonna still get good quality content. It's going to be exactly what you want. You don't have to overthink this
and
like you are.
you not by yourself. Like, bro, my niggas, we all on the string. Like, this is the niggas, bro. Who the like we'll beat a
yeah.
nigga ass like fucking like well who the fuck we all you know what I'm saying?
How did we get to
How
fighting?
we
Oh,
get
this,
Hey,
this,
I wasn't
that
I
turned
wasn't
real
thinking
quick.
like that, bro.
I'm
Like
just
how
saying
did we?
game, but
like
no,
y'all
like
be you know y'all had y'all moments where we like we gangster geeks or we gentle
Do we?
geeks. Like man,
Gangsta Geeks is crazy.
gangster geeks and gentle geeks I remember we talked about before.
I just
So
I do want to shout out Amp Agent though, because I mean a lot of the videos that I see from him is when he's giving advice, it's just do the content. You know what I mean? Like, and
yeah.
that's from every major content creator. Just do the content. Like, no matter how you think it's gonna come out, just do it. Somebody's gonna like it anyway.
Yeah.
And there's way more people out there right now in the world that's looking for the stuff that we're talking about. And the more that we don't do stuff, is the more that people are not seeing from us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Weebcon really showed us, dog, we can move crowds and we can make waves in just a short period of time.
Yeah.
Given all of the talents that we all individually have, right? You know what I mean? So just to see that come to fruition in the way that it did, I think it was just really like eye opening and kind of it solidified the way that I think about us.
I
Yeah.
fuck with that. No, I fuck with that energy.
And
I think all of y'all have to take a step back and clap for yourselves, because the reality is, like, to double back and go to a con right after going to an out of town con, like y'all did a road trip con after doing a fly to con, right? The
Mhm.
reset, the mental, mindset that you
Yeah.
gotta have to go in there, and like you say, from one where it's not that we're known at DreamCon like that. Like, we're known, but we're known by people that are seasoned. So the
Yeah,
new people, they get to know us because, like you said, we mingling with people that everybody know, or people that have heard of us now get a chance to actually see us.
yeah,
Where you go to a new con, it's just like going to Anime Milwaukee. in reality. You're meeting a bunch of new people that
Yeah.
are brand new to the idea of Geekset, that are brand new to the individuals of Geekset. So y'all really gotta like, not saying what y'all haven't done already is give yourself y'all flowers, but just really bask in it for a second. Like y'all went somewhere, man, and helped that con build their brand.
So I was just about to say that because the one thing I noticed, and I was like, man, you know what? We gotta continue to go to more, smaller cons or cons that are not, like, saying the big, like the huge attraction. Because the one thing I noticed, and coming from DreamCon and also seeing like what we've seen in C2E2, there was not a lot of content creators actually creating content on the con floor. It was literally this was con goers. This was people who specifically, I'm dressing up to go to this con.
Yeah.
Because I want to dress up as the player, as the character. I want to go to this panel because I like this show and I want to buy stuff. It wasn't. It was funny because afterwards I saw.
That was a huge difference.
Yeah.
DreamCon and see like this level of thing, like level.
But I think most Midwest and smaller cons are like that because like you said, I feel like it is a con culture where the bigger cons are more for like the reunion. Okay, I know once or twice a year I might go to a bigger con. I'm gonna see a bunch of people that go to their individual cons they like, but maybe online or maybe, what I'm saying, in our own professional realm, we mingle and do stuff, and this is our time to hang out. That's the big con, I think.
I get that
con
big con energy.
Where the small cons, to me, because I got nephews and cousins that go to small cons all throughout the Midwest and the South, right? And they tell me the straight up truth, like it is more for the cosplay, it is more for the collectibles, for the vendors, and just for the voice actors or the love of the show. So I think, and not saying that DreamCon isn't more about the love of, like people don't dress up for the love of their character or the show. I think that's just where we all can meet up. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're an East Coast Naruto lover, I'm a Midwest Naruto lover, you might go to, Blurred Con or whatever con out there on the East Coast or a con in DC that, not many people going to. I'm going to go to Anime MKE. I'm going to go to Anime Milwaukee. I'm going to go to, whatever they got going on here. And then we can go bond about that later. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about that at the big con. But I think that's the thing is like going to these small cons and actually performing would be great because you're going to reach more people.
It's not only just that, though. It's also certain cities aren't cities where people are just creating in general. Like, not to say that there aren't creators in those cities. Definitely. But you hear about it from creators all the time who are like, yeah, I had to get out of my hometown or I needed to get out of there because people aren't just creating there. Like they have creators, but you're not going to see someone just walking down the street creating because that's not the vibe of this city.
I mean, and that was crazy. Like to see that. Like I said, I think even like I said, even seeing that range of difference from DreamCon to this, and even like I said, knowing it was the first time it was a con is still okay. But even that aspect, there was no one there reporting that this is the first time of the con.
Yeah. Right. It was like it wasn't. That's gonna be a smaller, smaller con situation. Like you go to the one in Milwaukee. We don't see a whole lot of news or a whole lot of people,
a whole lot of creators. Like
there's not a whole lot of creators. Period. Like you say, I can go to LA or San Diego on a regular day, and people are walking the streets.
Right.
So it's like. I get it. You know what I mean? If I'm going to Comic-Con, it's going to be a million creators there because this is where you go to create. Right. So we had that issue with the streamers at DreamCon. They're only going here to get the content to say, I went there. Where who's going to be like, yo, I went to Weebcon, Indy, if you got, millions of views, it's not going to be like, it's not going to hit the same.
And funny enough, so Dish has been telling us about this show called The Studio, right? And so I just finished it, right? And one of the episodes they go to, was it the Golden Globes, Dish?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Seth Rogen's character is on the red carpet, and it's all these streamers, right, streaming and everything. Like literally, Zoe Kravitz is in the show doing an interview, and there's a streamer in front of the interview, like, "Hey, I'm at the Golden Globe. Look who's behind me is Zoe Kravitz." And Seth Rogen's character says, "Who are all these people? I don't know these people." She was like, and then the person he was talking, she was like, "Oh, these are just streamers. They don't even go to the event. They just go to the red carpet, film, and then leave. And that's the culture." And I was like, yeah, you see that a lot of people they're like when it's heavy creator based, like I said, unless there's content that you can get from the actual event, they just want to get that moment on the red carpet. And you got to think, if I go to an event, I'm trying to film the stage, but if I'm on that red carpet, I have more chances to get an interaction with a celebrity for my TikTok or for my stream. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, it is different. Like I said, it is doing that streamer stuff, and I think that, you know. But again, it works in our favor of being how we are, because again, we're very comfortable in any room, in any setting. So even though it wasn't a lot of creators there and anything like that, and even though there was a lot of people that I was like, okay, these look like these are just regular con goers, so I was like, we're going to be converting some people. So I was having crazy conversations with a lot of people, like, yo, let me get a moment, yo, we go by the Geekset podcast, doing my spill again. Hey, we the only podcast that blend hip hop culture and geek culture together. We're gonna be in this room doing this live podcast. Come check us out, you know, and just kind of going down. And I was like, you know, I don't feel like I'm ever going to get out of that. I do enjoy introducing us and who we are. I do that.
And my thing is, like I said, what I realize is you don't realize that we haven't done that. We did that all Black Geek documentary weekend in DreamCon, but before that, we haven't done that since
first DreamCon.
Yeah, the first. No, yeah, the first DreamCon we didn't know what we were doing, and we were in the lounge,
the Dream Lounge.
Yeah, so we just trying to tell people to come fuck with us while you go chill. Like, it's not even a panel. We trying to tell you, like, bro, come hang with us while y'all chilling. Like,
yeah. But it's the spill. Like I said, I enjoy doing that because, and I think that's the one thing. Like, you know, it's just it's good because it's funny because like randomly we were sitting by this dude at a bar when we was wrapping up, and I'm telling him the spill. I just did the regular spill. You know, hey, we Geekset podcast, on the podcast, blend hip hop culture and geek culture together. And of course, you know, usually when we tell somebody, you know, who we are, if they are not familiar with the culture, they try to find something that they latch on to so they can have a familiarity with the conversation. So his was Dragon Ball Z. Oh man, I love Dragon Ball Z and everything like that. And so, you know, of course, as the conversation going, I'm telling them more things that we do. Like, oh yeah, we talk to celebrities, and I was naming celebrities, and Bacardi said he was sitting there like, I wonder which one is this guy going to recognize, right? But he was a white guy that also listens to hip hop, so you know, it was a couple of names. But then when I say, yeah, you know, we also we do reporting on Sway in the morning, and I mean Sway's universe and everything. He was like, wait, whoa, you was in Sway in the morning? I was like, yeah. He was like, wait, y'all know Sway? And I was like, he was like, why you didn't lead with that? And so it's like, it's fun. So it's funny because
it's about us random show, know them niggas.
Right. But it's funny because it's like, you know, again, it goes back to the conversation that we keep on constantly having, is that we do have these tempos that and these benchmarks that we definitely accomplish that can really help sell with our pitch, but I'm still just using the regular podcast pitch. I don't even like, you know, it's like if you engage in more conversation with me, then you'll get the nitty gritty of like, wait, y'all really doing some stuff. Yeah. But if you like first initial is just be podcast. But again, I also lean into our elevator pitch for the podcast is just that good, because if I'm not even bringing in the heavy guns and you tapped in with us, like I feel like our elevator pitch is fire.
I feel like it should. That's how it's just. You're fine how it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the greatest thing about us and what we do as podcast is like there's so many things that we've done that it's like all you gotta do is if you cool with the tagline and you locked in on that,
yeah,
then we're gonna actually tell you.
It's gonna blow your mind.
Like, yeah, we're gonna tell you what that tagline means.
Yeah,
like the hip hop culture is Sway in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Anime is like doing a documentary on Blackie like you know what I'm saying? Like if you gotta eat up the tagline first. You know
yeah.
Like that's all you gotta really do is eat that up first. It was like, all right, bro, now I'm gonna let you know what we got. Because you're gonna be like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying?
And when I saw this weekend is that for sure, like the the Black Geek documentary isn't just something that's gonna sit within just us, right? Because we had that room was really diverse, and everybody in
Yes.
that room was engaging. Like, and it filled up pretty quickly. Like,
Hmm.
That was one of my questions, bro. Were there black people there?
bro,
Yeah.
that's the thing I was waiting on, like Deuces to like kind of lean towards, because when we got there, like there were like some black vendors, and like when they saw us, they were like, "Oh, my people."
Yeah. literally,
They gave you the
literally
nod.
was like,
They gave you the nod, or
hey.
they gave you the gun.
Oh, we got the dap.
We got the
Yeah.
dap.
Literally,
No,
right?
bro.
People.
They came. They literally came up to us to say
Yeah.
my people. Like one person, I feel like he was. I feel like he was shocked because like he turned around and he was like, "Oh, he was like us." What did he say? Yeah, he was like, "Oh, us." Like he was like legit shocked.
I love that. Bro.
Even old boy that was the voice actor that was like, "Nigga, I remember your hat." Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like buddy said, he stopped
like us,
passing
like
our
us
panel.
was actually a very like subtle term used
Yeah.
throughout the black people. Throughout the like us was heavily like
Even
Nice.
the security was rocking with us. Like once we got through the first time, like they
Yeah.
was
Mhm.
just like, "Oh yeah, we recognize y'all."
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I feel like that's how my first anime Milwaukee or 414, whichever one it was, because I forget what time of year it was, but it was at the Barrett Center, and I feel that way because my guy was the event coordinator at the time, and this is before I don't even know if like we was kicking it. We might have been like the first year I met y'all, bro. I walked in there, and so many that like vendor, like you said, the vendors, the security, the workers, they looked at me like, nigga, are you in the right place? Like, you sure you? Because I didn't cosplay. I wasn't wearing nothing. Like, I think I had on maybe like a Dragon Ball Z shirt, like a t-shirt, and
oh yeah, if you
I
wear
was
clothes,
I
too,
was like
especially
I
wear
was in
clothes.
awe because this is when it was smaller still, and the only people that was cosplaying was like white girls. Like even the dudes weren't cosplaying. That's how new it was, and they saw a black face, bro. And I can probably count on one hand how many other black people was there. But
But yeah,
this
it
was
be like
this
that.
was like years ago. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because it truly
Like
do be like that.
well, that's a big impact. Like you can continue at that, but that's a big impact coming from DreamCon. All black. Like
All
even
black.
like I said, walking in general, without having no kind of thought process, whatever, the energy was so different.
Different,
Like it just
completely
you know what I'm
different.
saying?
yeah,
Like yeah, they're so different. Like and it's like it's not giving like problem to Weebcon, but it's just understanding what you had to follow up behind.
oh
Like
definitely.
Mhm.
And
But that's why I say y'all need to
before,
recognize that y'all that it is culturally we're all the same,
yeah,
right?
No,
Because
yeah,
if we
absolutely.
sit down and have a talk about our favorite animes or our top fives or our dislikes and likes, it don't matter what color you are. We all gonna have a conversation, right? And
yeah.
it don't matter if you don't even like me, which ironically, Indiana, home of the clan. That's why I asked that question because I'm like, I would have thought that it would have been so many other people there that you wouldn't have gotten, that community of people of color to even come to the Weebcon because it's the first one. Like,
Well,
I
so-
felt like
there
people would have
was-
tried to see.
So no, there was definitely like I get what you mean, but there was like first experience, like first impression of seeing like okay, there's not there's gonna be a lot of black people.
Yeah.
As you walked around, they were every room we went into, there were a handful. So it was like
Nice.
yeah.
there was
we were
definitely
So it
there
wasn't
were
that
definitely
fear.
a
It wasn't
good
that fear of
number of-
expression because that's
Yeah.
what I think it'd be.
Yeah,
And
but here's
and the
But what I
black people
do,
we did
what
run
I,
into,
what I want to say though is I feel like every black person I actually saw, like cosplay, like they were actually invested
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
in what they were there for. Like
Nice.
it wasn't a lot of regular clothes, just like niggas there. Like they were actually like,
It was like
I
actual
am a geek. Like
Yeah.
I am here for this. You know what I'm saying?
and every black person that we talked to either went to DreamCon or heard about DreamCon.
Nice.
Mhm. Yeah, there was a couple people there, and so but this is where I think where the way we move and operate is what is kind of how helps us be successful. And where DreamCon, the reason why DreamCon feels more like a gathering, a family reunion, is because our makeup and who we are. It's a lot more of us there at what we do at DreamCon because the way that we operated at Weebcon, I can tell like there was a lot of people that was really shocked when I asked, hey, let me interview you. There was a lot of people really shocked when I was just going through a spill. There was a lot of people just shocked and saying, hey, this is who we are, yo, come check us out, blah, blah, blah. Even to the point where people were like, whoa, hey, I got a podcast too. You know, so it's like, right. So it was like, and you know, that's one of the things way early on with Geekset. We always said that we want to make it comfortable for the hood niggas and the geeks to be in the same room with each other. And so we bring that energy of that, where it's like, look, we gonna bring that energy, we gonna bring that cool, we gonna bring that swagger. We all here geeks. That's bottom line. So we just have a geeky conversation. We just have a little bit more colorful language because of who we are. But yeah, we gonna have this geeky ass conversation, and we want y'all. We want everybody to be involved in it. We don't care what walk of life you are, as long as you ain't no weird nigga doing weird shit or weird person doing weird shit. You doing, like I say, because again, what y'all think is weird, we don't consider weird. Cosplaying, not weird. Like an anime, not weird. Like I said, hey, you know what I'm saying? If you at the waifu station, hey, that's part of the culture. That's not weird. If you doing too much at the waifu station, we gonna call you weird. If you doing too much at the maid cabaret, we gonna say something. But it's like I like that how we bring that, and that's kind of once we figured out, established where our room was at, and we established we got 2.5-3 hours before this con. That's when I got into mode, and so there was like people I was interviewing, people I was just saying, yo, we here, come here, come check us out, yo, and so you know, once we went to go set up the room and everything, again, same thing. Once we established the room and set up let Bacardi set up his merch table, we got the cloth going. But we was out there in that hallway. Me and Trip was out there in that hallway promoting out there. Yo, come up here. We right here, and shit like that. So like that was like I said, and you know, again, going back to the roots, because I'm a person that I don't mind doing promotion. I don't mind doing promotion. I don't mind being the billboard to tell people we here, come here. Right. It's that's something that's already embedded in me. So if like I said, I do it for people that's like I said, you saw that's how we got in with Carl Jones a little bit, because I was doing that for Carl Jones, and that was just because I fuck with Carl Jones, I fuck with what he was trying to do. So if I'm gonna do it for other people, I definitely do it for us. And so that's when we got, like I said, and as we started, like I said, we started off, we had 3 people in there at first, and just kind of like with Con, that was the first time that I realized, hey, keep that door open. I like what's it? Marvin Sapp trying to get y'all to close the door. I want them doors open.
Leave that door open.
Leave that door open. Leave that door open.
Let because the vibe reach the people.
Yeah, like because you got to hear me. Bacardi already said it. When we walked in, we realized we didn't need speakers and a microphone because of the way the room was set up. But even though Bacardi was like, we're gonna leave that door open, they gonna hear your ass because they gonna hear me.
Like I said, what you all right. Like niggas gonna be like, what the fuck is going on in this guy?
Especially with the documentary, with the trailer paused on the projector screen, people gonna want to see what that was about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. And then, like I said, I brought a yard sign thing for my one-on-one reduces interviews. But again, also giving us new ideas of things to do, because I was like, I'm definitely going to get a Geekset podcast live poster board that we can put outside of our rooms that we doing it. You can remember coming with the stand, because I was like, it's just letting people know we here, because I think that's what I want for Geekset moving forward. Is I want the hype of, oh shit, Geekset here. Like, you never know what con we gonna pull up to.
Yeah.
And I want people to be excited for, oh shit, Geekset here. Are they doing something? Oh, they got the live. Like, I want the live podcast. I want the lore of it to be like, yo, if you see Geekset or live podcast, go. It's gonna be a great time. You know, and so
I think that's what I want too. Spreading out the performances, as it were. Because like I said, we even talked about doing it, individually, not just at cons, but like in the cities that we traveling to. This is great practice. You know what I'm saying? This is a great way to build it up, because you're gonna be in those rooms with people who they get the jokes, they get the puns, they get it. You know what I mean? Like, where we get out here into the regular world, these people ain't necessarily gonna understand everything. They might not understand like the references to the code, to the cons. So I definitely get going to these cons, man, and building like a real base with people who are already tapped in and they live this. Like, because like we know, if you into cosplaying, bro, you gotta live it. Like, you can't just be like, I kind of fuck with it a little bit. No, nigga, I gotta hunt some shit down. I might have to knit and sew. I might have to outsource to get something made. Hell, like I chased down, like I said, I chased down my ex nigga for 2-3 years, and finally got it at a small con. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
bro. So the thing about the one thing before we get into the actual live podcast, we kind of talked about it a little bit. Their vendor tables was way better, right?
Yeah.
Way better, bro. They had Meliodas' broken sword for a great price. I said King would have been crazy here, bro. Bro, they had so much Seven Deadly Sin stuff. I was like, King was literally just saying, I don't see a lot of Seven Deadly Sin shit. This
so many
con
vendors at DreamCon, dog. Like it pissed me off when I went to the one. I think you were there with me when I asked about the banner.
Yep.
And the dude, like, he had 2 Seven Deadly Sins banners. One that didn't have Escanor on it, but it had everybody else, and then it had one weird ass Magic Knight who didn't even fit. He was nobody in the whole series besides a nigga who traded on Meliodas, and they put him at the top. But then every other sin was there, so it's 6 sins, and then this nigga. You couldn't have just put fucking Escanor there, and then the other was just Meliodas and his girl. So that's what pissed me off, because I'm like, y'all be having 45 million other banners for all these other shows that don't nobody even care about, but this one show that it had a couple bad seasons, but it was cracking. While it was cracking, y'all do this? Like, come on, look it out.
Yeah. So yeah, you would have liked this con. This con definitely was seven Deadly Sins friendly. Seven Deadly Sins friendly.
I mean, yeah, it definitely made me realize that we definitely do a lot of, even if you think about anime MKE, C2E2, like all of those are actually really more mainstream. To really see a convention that was like a lot more smaller, where the vendor quality is like the smaller. I'm understanding now. The smaller the convention is, the better quality of damn near like the rare shit you looking for.
Yeah. Because you gotta think them dudes are a career. They do this for a living, so they go to all the conventions like that.
Because that one vendor almost had Bacardi, bro. He had deep cut Dragon Ball figurines, bro.
This nigga had so much old Dragon Ball material, bro, that it was like
Bacardi for like.
But I mean, I'm talking about like this nigga had shit. This nigga had shit in old like packaging, bro. Like this shit was faded, Japanese words. Like, bro, where you buy this at? Like, bro, like, and I'm like, dog. I'm like, bro. But he had like I've never seen like even like the modern things he had. They were like old Dragon Ball scenes, like the original show scenes. Where I'm like, bro, I've never seen this.
Like Goku with a tail Dragon Ball.
No, bro, I'm talking, bro, like even deeper, bro. They had you know the little robot, the walking robot from Capsule Corp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had Kid Goku with one of those. They had one that you don't see a lot. He had a adult Goku on the flying Nimbus. He had he had stuff like that.
He had a remote control car that actually wasn't Goku on Nimbus. It was Goku riding one of the Red Ribbon, like where he actually stopped like while he was still going in one of the animes.
Yeah.
He stopped the car with the stick. Like, I guess the controller. There's nobody in the seat, but Goku on the hood. But it was a remote control car though. Like you could actually.
It looks cool.
Like, bro.
Yeah.
That's a once in a lifetime. And you ain't get nothing,
bro. I couldn't get. I was like, bro, I can't do this.
After DreamCon, after DreamCon, I opened my credit card statement today. I was like,
it made me so mad that I spent so much at DreamCon. Yes. But I'm learning now. That was the first time that I learned specifically. Like, all right, my now convention touring gonna have to mix both of these. Cause I'm not gonna keep spending big money, like big, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In all these like bigger conventions where I can go to a smaller convention and actually get what I'm looking for.
For some decent prices, and they were working with you on the price.
Bro, that's the only place that I feel like when you ask a nigga on Sunday if they got a deal, they had a deal. It's just smaller cons. You got to drink. Well, and don't get me wrong, I did hear about like the after at the expedition halls at DreamCon, which Man, shout out to the people who took advantage and got all the free stuff. I feel y'all. Like, I wasn't paying another $40 to stay around and get T-shirts and hoodies and shit. But I feel like at the con, like smaller cons, you're gonna definitely find the collectibles, the electronics, the games, all the games that we really be looking for. I feel like you have a higher chance of finding them at the cons, that aren't so mainstream. Because the mainstream con, bro, think about it. I can find like a sword, right? At a mainstream con, they're gonna probably like want like $200, $150. If anything, maybe 90, and that's gonna be like the flimsy, weird looking one. I can go to the smaller con, bro, and they're gonna work with me. You know what I'm saying? I could probably catch one for the 75, or whatever.
Shit, that's how I call the con shirt. Like, I always try to get my con shirts for every convention. And as we were leaving, I wasn't even paying no attention to what the nigga talking about. But it was like $25 shirts. And we was walking out, and I'm like, damn, I did want to give me a shirt. He was like, bro, $18.
Right.
Like,
immediately.
I'm like,
and it's a Saturday. This ain't even a Sunday, before
Saturday.
closing.
Yeah.
I'm here for the con. I'm like, give me a con shirt then. You feel me?
Yeah. So we get to we get to the podcast. We started and we do the podcast and we do our typical regular podcast. Like I said, we're just talking about we bring in back some of our great topics. We end up bringing back the Butler topic. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the Butlers. Started talking. I don't know how we end up doing Android versus Apple and Xbox versus PlayStation again, but that popped up again.
Cause y'all hating ass niggas.
Wait a minute, y'all had that conversation without me there?
Yeah.
Without the alternate Android hater?
You'll be happy. They was on Bacardi Hills. Bacardi was a lone man.
Real hating energy, bro.
Bacardi was a lone man in there.
Like,
we started talking.
There was not an Xbox nigga in the room, I don't think, bro.
No, that room was very as diverse as it was very
There was some Nintendo fans though.
solidified on one thing. There was no wrestling nerds in that.
There was no wrestling nerds in there.
Yeah,
hey, that hurt Trip hard. That hurt Trip hard.
Yeah, me and Trip got burnt. Me and Trip got burnt hard.
I got the disgusted look. Like, oh my god.
Niggas, y'all like wrestling here? They're like, boy, what the fuck?
How dare you?
I did get love at the end though. At the end of after the podcast, I got some love about the wrestling. But
yeah.
That's because,
like I said, it was
really at the crib watching Battle with what was it? Collision? What was it? The Worlds Collide?
The Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. That's what the wrestling fans was doing.
Trip was trying to dodge spoilers all day.
Oh man, Worlds Collide was amazing, bro. I felt bad because I knew y'all was like at the convention, and my client he came through and he was like, "Hey, can you put it on? It's about to come on like right now." And I'm like, damn, if I was gonna be able to leave, this would actually have been the time that I had to leave. So it was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna just watch this and pay homage to Trip. Maybe we'll talk about it on podcast day or something like that. Bro, them luchadors was going crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. They was doing some wild ass shit. I was like, shout out to Trippy on this one, bro. I wanted you to be asking questions while you were watching it or something.
Man.
Yeah, so but the conversation was really dope, like I said, because and that's what I love about when we do our live podcast is how people in the crowd, they immediately get the premise of it, right? And it goes, I think Diz was the one that told me this. He was like, you got to think, going to these conventions, they love being at these panels, but they do the same thing over and over. They're sitting at the and they're at the panel and they're listening, and then they line up to do questions, and then they go back to their seats and then they're listening. No matter what the case, even the small panel. So Diz was saying like this is a break from the norm, and so this is where they're like, oh man, I could yell back at y'all, I get to argue with y'all, I get to yell at the crowd like what, and so again and keeping that door open, it makes people be like, yo, what is going on in there? You know what I'm saying? So like says.
To build that organically was just like the most satisfying part, because that was just nobody there knew who Geekset was before Saturday, but after that everybody wanted more of Geekset.
Wanted more, and we like I said, we saw how building community happens, because for the most part, like there may have been like, okay, There was a group of 3 guys that came in together. There was a group of 3 women who cosplayed together. There was a couple who brought their kid. There was a random lady by herself. There was like a lot of just pocket of people. But even after the pod was over, and after our panel was over, you start seeing them mingling, talking to each other, exchanging. Nice. It was like, wait, y'all definitely didn't come in together. Y'all definitely didn't seem like y'all know each other. But based off of the conversations and everything that we happened, now and then they like talking about. They literally like, yo, y'all come back tomorrow. Oh wait, this other con going. Let me tell you about Gen Con. Y'all should hit Gen Con. And I was like, yo, we literally built a community real quick right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was pretty dope. That was really dope.
That was definitely the best part of it, just to realize how many people didn't know who we were at the beginning of the day, to be like, well, you can physically see that you created fans today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's so satisfying.
Oh man, I'm proud of y'all, man. Look at y'all going out there being friendly with the people.
I had to hold it down, man. You know. And then, like I said, we premiered. We did the trailer again. Showed them the trailer. Opened up the floor for conversations about like what the Black Geek documentary, what you wanted to include in. Mm-hmm. And to Bacardi's point, what he said is that, or I don't know, maybe been a trip, but the diversity in our crowd and the conversations that everybody was able to tap in, like it clearly says the Black Geek documentary, but the conversation wasn't just straight only for what was a black person's opinion. You know, there was you know, everybody. There was we had a nice diverse cast of people in our pod, in the crowd. So it was like we was able to have some really dope conversations around what type of things. And again, it came up organically, like, oh man, y'all should really just do a series. And it's like, well, now that you mentioned that, you know. And so like that was really, it was just, again, it took me back to our roots when we was doing like Mogul Nights, or how we did with Con. It's just, you know, of going to a place where people that at like our start, nobody knows. We literally started at level 0 going to this con, and we leveled up like fast to the point where, like I said, they wanted us. They were like, y'all doing something tomorrow? Like, nah, we just here for one day. You know?
Yeah, that was. I think that was the definite proof when old girl was like, "Oh, y'all gonna be here tomorrow?" Like she left with her friend, came back and was like, "Wait, are y'all doing this again tomorrow?" Then when we told her no, she was like, "Oh, okay, I understand." Left, came back third again. Time, and was like, "Well, actually, y'all should go to this con in DC then."
No, before that, she asked us what other cons were we going to.
That is true.
This is the only con. This is the last con of the year. Then I shouted out that you were going to Anime New York. And then that's when she was like, well, y'all should come to this con in DC in August. And it's like,
I was just going to say, this is our last con?
It is.
Yeah,
technically.
On the books.
Technically.
On the books. Officially on the books. It's the last one.
Because remember, we generally do, like I said, 3 minimum, at least possibly 4, but it's always C2E2, Anime Milwaukee, DreamCon, and then like
always usually the last of the year.
It's usually the last one because there's really not none in the fall. But like I said, I might add Anime 414.
Anime 414 is in there in the fall.
Yeah, but we never been to one.
That's in August this year.
That's in August this year.
Yeah.
Oh, we never did Anime before.
That's the one I went to.
This is
I went to
the second year of Anime 414 though. Well, they might have brought it back. This go around of Anime 414, I remember last year they were like, "This is our first year." Yeah. So I don't know if they might have took some time off.
So,
and came back.
No, King, you might be talking about Wisconsin Comic Con, but because they used to have Anime Milwaukee, and so it was always Anime Milwaukee, and then they used to have Wisconsin Comic Con, and then I forgot. I think they folded after COVID. I think COVID.
Yeah, this was because this was before COVID. This was
before
the construction.
Wisconsin Comic. Yeah, so it was definitely Wisconsin Comic Con. And so I mean, like I said, I'm not opposed to doing more because, like I said, especially if we're going to be doing this, because I take it back to what Bacardi said. Yeah, I do enjoy introducing ourselves to new people, and I think that's how we're going to continuously build. And so, I mean, there's a lot of local cons. Like I said, we've been talking. For the past 3 years, there's one con that's been really trying to get us, and that's Colossus Con in the Wisconsin Dells. They've been trying to get us to come out, and we just never did.
Yeah, we can go there and hit the one at State Fair that they had.
Yep. Well, Mighty Con.
Mighty Con.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Mighty Con.
my thing is like
We do MadCon too.
Like I feel like our live podcast setup in general, which I mean, like I'm never gonna we've naturally done the podcast without never knowing what we're gonna do for the podcast when we do a live podcast, and it's always a great podcast. Like our exposure to people fucking with us, whatever we decide to do. My thing is we need a space that we can start creating that consistency. Just like the peers that we love to go see, we can have that too. We just have to have a panel that we can consistently going to every year to create those bigger rooms, the bigger, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
like,
you niggas can't
moments.
sing Disney songs. So
We ain't gotta say Disney songs.
I'm just saying, bro, you gotta learn. You gotta learn the Little Mermaid, nigga. You can't
You ain't
just
never
be
heard me
mouthing the
sing
words.
Under the Sea. I don't know what you're talking about, fam.
You said what?
You ain't never heard me sing.
Bro,
Under the
then we needed you. We needed you.
Was you when we need?
Where was you at? So, we needed you because our Under the Sea sounded so bad as a collective at DreamCon.
Oh, we was all off key. It wasn't no unity. It was bad, bro.
After the first Under the Sea, I just stood there and I laughed the rest of the song because I said we lost. There's no way we win in this. I just stood up and laughed. I said, "What is going on here?"
Like that was it.
So yeah, man. So like, I mean, I don't know, man. Weebcon Indy, it's funny how something like this puts that fire back into some of the things that we do. Because
it reminds you of what we used to do, who we are.
Yeah, what we fell in love with this culture for and everything. And then again, like I said, yeah, I'm definitely going to make sure to submit panels to everywhere we go. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get us a panel at C2E2. We never really tried at C2E2. We always just did press, but I'm gonna try to get us a panel at C2E2. I'm gonna start moving forward, getting us a panel at Anime Milwaukee. I'm gonna reach out to Anime 414. Like, yo. It's going to be different now. Like I said, I feel like that's going to be because I think when we were saying that we was tired, we're done with doing press. I think it's more so the obligation of having just to go to the press room, not being active in the con, because obviously we can still get photos, we can still interact with the con goers as creators. But I think that now, if our con season is we're going to these conventions, but we're also doing a live podcast at these conventions, that adds more. That fills every bucket of what we want out of conventions. We're interacting with people. We're able to get the photos. We're creating content. We're able to do something, and and reach the people. And I think that should be how we approach conventions moving forward.
Setting up a space to sell merch.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I think, and I also think the catch to it is this is like the natural next step for us. Considering we normally play the background, like you say, as press. That's kind of my issue with press, is the visibility issue. Like, people can hear us and they can see the material that we create from what we pick up at these conventions. But like, I know for a fact the reason why when we do stuff it's so sought out and people want to interact is because of that. Like, people stop me on the street all the time and be like, bro, I heard a Geekset. I know, I watched y'all stuff, or I seen something from y'all. So I think every time you give a person an opportunity to even see the name, search the name, and then look online and see our footprint, that opens the door for a fan, to build that, for someone to become a fan, should I say, because then they get an opportunity to be like, oh, y'all really working, y'all really doing shit. It's not just y'all just hit the ground running and y'all don't really know what y'all got going on. Like, no, we have things that entertain people, and it's from so many different aspects, whether it's podcast people, the clothes people, the just us, creating stuff, and the questions, and like, that's part of it now, is like we're creating reels, shorts, documentaries, travel vlogs, all kind of things where we don't get a chance to tell everybody that. And by going to a smaller con, or just creating a panel, creating that one-on-one interaction with people, we'll be able to like really serve it to them. Like, here, the way we generate a conversation, we always got something that connects to that conversation. Whether we talking about movies, games, animes, whatever, they can always refer back to some material that we created where it's like, oh man, I'm fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? So we have to naturally now have to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because what else can we do? We do everything else.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, that's the main thing that I took from this Weebcon trip and everything like that. Is just like, yeah, even like I said, with the man on the street conversation content and doing the panels, like I'm excited to do more because, like I said, even though we said that DreamCon is generally our last con, now even opening it up to those smaller cons and things like that, we might be like say, hey, matter of fact. That's good. That's going to be part of my recommendation when we do our recommendations in a few minutes. Is going to be let us know what the cons are in y'all area. Drop them in the comments. Let us know because we are going to start filling our schedule. Start filling up our calendar with cons. That especially if you're around the Midwest or easy accessible.
We can drive through it. You might really,
you might actually see
at least a day.
Mm-hmm. So matter of fact, that's what I'm gonna at Trip. Make sure you grab when you clip this up. Make sure you grab this. Let them know. Hey, let us know which city y'all in and what cons is in y'all city. And if y'all want to see Geekset, do Geekset live in y'all city, man. Make sure we get that clip out there. Yeah, bro, you got to make it to Bo. Where Bo from?
Why the fuck you ain't been to a con? It's crazy.
Yeah,
Bo, where are you from?
We gonna come to you, Bo.
Well, get your house. Everybody Sunday been.
Right. That was a long time ago.
Hey,
so they got cons in
St. Louis.
All
right, Bo, DM me whatever con is in St. Louis. Let me know.
GalaxyCon.
I've heard know about GalaxyCon.
When is
Bo, get your ticket for GalaxyCon next year. If you not there, Bo, I promise you. I don't know. We gonna roast you.
You ain't about that life no more. You ain't about that life. Like,
October? So it's potentially this year. Bo, pay attention. We might be announcing something. But yeah. So I don't know, man. Like I said, let's wrap up with our final words over the weekend. What you thought? I'll go with you, Didge. Start with you.
Like I said, overall, I think that this was a great grassroots con. This is how you start building community. It's not necessarily just posting online. Like, obviously, that is a huge part of it. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing bigger than word of mouth, and there's nothing bigger than actually shaking hands and talking to someone and saying, yo, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is why you should support. And Absolutely. Them being able to see it immediately and just going like that. So even outside of just where are we going to be at, go to some of your smaller cons, build that community with people, and just have fucking conversations.
Mm-hmm. Bacardi, throw it to you.
I would agree with this. I also would say and add to that is like, I think we've been in cons for so long, in a sense now, a couple of years, that we've always used the tagline of like, dog, this shit is huge. Like, we can't find shit. We can't get nowhere. And going back to Weebcon, really realize that you can find, like, it's like a smaller con can still feed you everything you need. Mm-hmm. Like, it can actually give you what you're looking for there at Indy con. Like I said, even our moment of us thinking that we was going to get flip the table, just because we saw the wording of a picture. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait. All right. So, King, because I don't think you know about this lore. All right. So, we did Crunchyroll Expo.
I want to keep putting it on there. As long as I can keep telling that we need to try to find this game, put it on there.
Yeah. So, King, we went to Crunchyroll Expo. Obviously, Crunchyroll has anime, right? So, in their gaming hall, they had this game called Flip the Table. Now, it's literally like the Dance Dance Revolution game. Like, it's a big cabinet. It has a table.
The name of the game was called Super Dinner Table Flipping. I already looked it up.
Was it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Low name.
No. Yep. So it's like imagine like how you looking at me right now, but it's a half of a table there, right? A breakaway table, and it's literally you're flipping the table and trying to knock off the most stuff off the table. You get pissed, you're flipping the table.
Okay.
We spent so much time at that because it was such a stress reliever. It was so fun, and we've been searching for that since that was like year 2 Geekset. We've been searching. We've been searching for this game.
2019, I believe.
Yeah, bro, we've been searching for this game, this cabinet, at every convention that we go to. right? Have not seen it since. So we walk in. Now they had a retro gaming hall, right? And so it was like, all right, that's what they had, like all the old school games and everything like that. But then we walked past this one gaming hall, and all we saw was Japanese gaming.
Well, it said
You would,
Japanese gaming back there, so we were like, we're in.
yeah. So the joy in our faces of the potential of seeing this game again.
Seeing this game?
Men look at each other in the eyes so strongly without saying, like, bro, what game, like, niggas stopped doing everything we did to run to the back. Like,
Bro,
all
the
right,
way
bro.
these niggas dropped everything and ran,
What?
you would have thought they were getting paid.
The game is amazing. Like I said,
Like,
bro.
we
If
got
I
one or
could
two more
ever-
cons to look for, or I will be buying it. Fuck it.
Like, if
I'll
you know,
buy
where
it.
is it? Where is it? Because I will put in, like, if you just
Right.
you
Find it. I
bro.
was gonna say,
It
can
needs
you
to
find
be
it on like
good.
eBay or some shit? Is this
I
like a
haven't-
man-made
so I
game?
googled it. I googled it yesterday after we were there, and I couldn't find it. Like it wasn't there, and I'm like, all right. So now I got the actual name of it. Like I got the Japanese name of it. I will find this game.
Like, bro, because you don't even know what they're saying. Like, the game we played in the country road was in Japanese. Don't know
Yeah.
the words or nothing. But all you do is, like, when they said 1, 2, 3, flip that motherfucking table. Like, like that's all I cared about. You know what I'm saying?
So is it like fake food on the table?
Yeah,
Here, I got a video. I got a video of somebody playing it. I'm gonna put it in the group chat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a full.
We
Yeah,
got videos of it. We definitely got videos. Like, I know I got videos over in my thing on Crunchyroll.
but yeah, it's. But here's the thing. I kind of like the chase too. Like I get it that we want to buy it, but I do want to. I do want to come across it again and have that moment of we finally found you again.
I know, wow. Hey, that is a good ass lore to have.
You just do not know. Like I said, I would like now we talk about so much that I definitely got to go to my video. 'Cause I know I got video of it. I feel like it was just us. So I feel like I'm the only one that got video of us playing it, and I gotta find the video of it and share it because yes, bro, like that game, it still lives in my heart as one of the greatest stress reliever games that can. Like niggas didn't want to leave that game after having a long day, bro, because you just wanted to just relieve. Like, bro, I'm about to throw this bitch.
Oh, this is an
upside down.
arcade game. This
Yeah, it's an arcade.
You are legit.
This is
flipping the
crazy.
table.
This is crazy, and you have
Yeah, bro. That's
yeah, that's wow.
bro. It was. Bro, it
You
was
probably
so
gotta holler
fun.
at Yasa. Yasa they probably got this somewhere over there, like.
Oh,
Super
for sure, for sure. This is probably.
Yeah,
There ain't
and
no, that's
I,
crazy.
I didn't think about that. We might have to ask Yasi to see if they know somebody.
Right. Trip. Final words, man, for the week about the weekend.
Yeah, just for me, to not have known anything about Weebcon, I kind of had really no expectations going in, and to get there and to see, how intricate and intimate it is. It was dope. It was a dope experience. I think just the vendor hall itself was probably my favorite part. Just because if y'all know me, y'all know like I collect lounge fly bags for the misses. So just to be able to get out there and see one that really just stand out right away. It's just I think.
But
that's
hey,
all.
Trip was going through it because he just got it at DreamCon, and then as soon as we got there, they had so many ones that we ain't never seen, and I was like, dog, they knew. They was like tripping the building. We gotta have these ready for
Man.
Yeah, and then like even again the way we move and groove, man. Like I said, I appreciate that. What else you gonna say?
Yeah, no, it just being able to build that community organically, and leaving there with new Eagle Scouts was just a really good acknowledgement of the hard work that we've been putting in lately. Just to see that we continue to elevate every year, we take it to a new level.
Right.
I love that for us. So.
All right. And it came, even though you wasn't there, hearing our experience and then kind of like with our new focus and everything and things that we're gonna trying to do. How are you feeling?
Man, I'm excited. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I said, I'm actually real salty I couldn't make it because, like I said, my initial plan was to like work a half day and then just shoot down there. But like I said, with the weather, with my battery going crazy, like, and then I also know like we are a balanced team. So like all of us have different attributes, and when we all together, like Bacardi was saying, what we say and do, people enjoy it. I just think it's
Yeah.
natural. So that was my only worry was like getting down there and missing something, or creating that feeling where it was like, damn, I wish King was here to explain some shit. So that was it. But just hearing what y'all did, man, I'm really proud of y'all because, like I already said, I'm never thinking like they're gonna go down there and something gonna go wrong. I'm always thinking like y'all gonna go down there and kill it. But my only thought was it being a new con. Like I said, I was trying to look up footage of Weebcon Indy, and that's when I realized there isn't any. Like this is literally gonna be the first one.
Be us.
So it was kind of like I didn't want cats to go down there and really, get a bad taste in your mouth, or kind of feel like this was so lackluster because. I mean, honestly, I think we're a show, bro. Like I ain't gonna say we're a show, but when we go places, I think the way we dress, the vibe, everything we give off, we fit well at DreamCon because we bring like a certain level of comforting and laughter and like, okay, these these grown men, but y'all niggas is fun. Where at a smaller con, you never know. You know what I mean? It can be a whole lot of different vibes, whole lot of different emotions. So just the fact that y'all went down there and, like you say, built a community and got some people linked in where they like, hey, I'm rocking with y'all. I wish y'all would came back today. Like that's dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm beyond proud of you niggas, man. This shit.
Appreciate that. I can guarantee what we gave them, they never had that at Weebcon Indy. Well, in Weebcon.
So they definitely never had.
Yeah. That's what I said because I feel because here's the thing, and I feel like as much as we keep on saying we've been going to Anime Milwaukee. Anime Milwaukee hasn't even had a version of This Is What We Do. Like it's crazy because in DreamCon it's a lot of that. You're literally seeing that is the premiere of kind of what we do. There's a lot of versions of what we do at, like I said, Anime After Dark, Do the Wrong Thing podcast. Like I said, there's a lot of show go high. There's a lot of what we do and different variations of what we do with different personalities at that type of con. But Anime Milwaukee, I don't remember a live podcast, Black Live podcast there. C2E2 we've been covering as press. I don't remember seeing any of that there and things like that. And so we have that opportunity of continuously showing. Again, and I feel like this is a blurred space specific type of thing. There's a lot of blurred spaces that are in this type of realm of what we do. But again, everybody shoots for the Blurred Con and the Dream Con. And so we are, again, as being the reporters of the culture and also being representatives of blurred culture, I think it's like that is definitely a part of our duty as well. It's like, let's show what also these other cons can get this same type of entertainment and same type of fun, and I think that we have a great opportunity to seize that. So I'm excited about that. Did y'all want to get into quick recommendations before we get out of here?
I mean, I would just recommend everybody go to more local conventions.
I think we all on that same wave. I think let's just end it as a group one with that. Go to more local. Go to your local cons.
Support your cons, man, because you never know.
Indies, man.
You never know. They may request us to come down there. Support your local cons.
Yeah,
and you know how many people, man, are really put on like this is their livelihoods, but not only that, it's their life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people they create them prints, or they draw, they paint. You know what I'm saying? They creating clothing, like all of that stuff, man. It's not just one convention a year that they go out here and do it for. So the fact that these smaller cons, you never know what you might find there or who you might find there. So that's my thing.
I was gonna say, especially like on that same wavelength from the internet, there's always time and time that people like they'll repost something like, bro, this is fire. I wish I could get a copy of this. I wish I could print this. I could put this somewhere. It's like more often than not, like they're gonna probably be at those big cons, but before they get to those big cons, they are at these local cons. You're going to see stuff like that there because all these artists have to start somewhere.
Yeah,
right. And not only that, man, think of the actors, think of the voice actors, think of like the animators that show up. I walk past voice actors, man, who I've heard for years, bro, and I've always thought, man, I wonder what this dude looked like. And it always blows my mind how they can be on the floor signing autographs, giving away stuff, selling merch, And it's like, bro, this is their hustle too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, the voice acting is there, and we all commend them and talk about them. And you know, anytime you hear the voice on a different character, it's like, oh yeah, I know exactly who that is. But the fact that they're there, bro, this is
Yeah.
not saying it's a big deal for them, but I think that support goes a long way. Of people just more, and I know people, bro. I ain't gonna jack to you. Just talking about conventions in the shop, people want to go so bad,
Yeah.
but people don't know it's for them. You know what I mean? Like, if it's a sales convention, if it's a closed convention, I think those people know, go there for that. But you could be like, my wife is a Hello Kitty fan, right? I told her, like, dude, you go to these conventions, go to Anime Milwaukee, you're gonna find so much stuff you like, or just something you never even knew was there. And she went, I think, she went to Anime Milwaukee with her friend. Bro, found so much shit. And I'm thinking, like, now you need to go to C2E2. Now we got to go to DreamCon. You know what I'm saying? Just so you can see, like, you're not the only one. It's so many people like you that go to these places and be timid and just be so scared that they're not gonna fit in, or they're not gonna fall in into the mold, where it's like, nah, man, you come here and create your own. You know what I'm saying? You come here and you could be the one that makes the group. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Don't be afraid. Just really explore. Go out here, man. Have some fun. It's a convention.
Facts.
Oh, that's right. I saw.
And there's a convention for everything. So don't even like, just go find your geek. Go find your. There's a geek convention for everything.
Find your geek, man. But yeah, so listen. If y'all if you was here from because you was at our Weebcon panel, hey, appreciate y'all tapping in with us. Like I said, we definitely hope you guys stay and and consume more of our content. If you are just one of our OG people that are always here, man, thank you for continuing rocking with us. Again, put in the comments. Reach out to us. Let us know what cons is in your area as we continue to try to figure out, where else we can do this at. And then if you are one of our silent viewers, you got 100 people viewing. Hey,
out to the hundo.
Jump into the chat, man. Come into the chat. We want to see more of y'all talk, man. Listen here. We got, Snacks ain't gonna bite. I know Snacks is probably Bo ain't gonna roast you, man. Novice is gonna show love. Like, we got people here, man. Come through, man. But as always, this is the only podcast that blend hip hop culture and geek culture together, and we are out. Peace.
The